Hey friends, it's Buffaque again. So it's been quite a while since I've had a new video out for you. Unlike a lot of people where they have the summer to kind of maybe catch their breath a little bit and relax, with what I do for a living, summertime is actually one of my busiest times of year. And I just haven't had a chance to get out a new video for you guys. And the fact of the matter is, I don't want to just put out videos just for the sake of putting out a video. I don't really see the point in showing you something unless I have something new or relevant to mention to you. And honestly, since my last video, I haven't really made any new purchases as far as firearms or knives. But the concept for this video, I thought this is just kind of a silly thing. This is just kind of a for fun thing. There's no real rhyme or reason why I'm doing this. I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing, kind of how my mind works. And I thought it might maybe motivate some of you to kind of do a similar video, because I'd be interested in seeing yours as well. Basically what I have here, guys, I've laid out the majority of my handguns. I have a few more than what's here, but this is pretty good representation of what I have right now. And I thought you might be interested in seeing what I would kind of pick as, I hate to use the term my favorite, because that's not really what I'm meaning, but if out of all the firearms you see here, if I could only pick one of these, if I could only have one, for whatever reason, luckily we live currently we live in a society where we can have as many as we like, as long as you're a law-abiding citizen, of course. But, if I had to just choose one, say tomorrow, I'm going to lose everything, and I can only pick one of these to have for the rest of my life, for whatever reason, what am I going to pick? Okay, and it's just something I think about a lot. I don't know why. I sometimes think, if I could only keep one of my firearms, which one would it be? And it's a tough choice to make, because you're kind of, if you're like me, you're torn between something that maybe you paid a lot of money for versus something that was given to you by a family member, or something that has a lot of sentimental value to it. And so basically I'm going to show you kind of where I have landed on this decision. All right, so basically working our way down here, here on the very end is my North American Arms 22 Magnum. After that, this is my Springfield 1911 loaded model. On down is my Smith & Wesson Model 442 38 Special. After that is my wife's SIG P238. Then here I have a Ruger LCP. Sorry, I had to think about the model. That's the Ruger LCP. On down from that is a first generation Kel-Tec P32. Here on the end is my C-Camp in 25 ACP. Down here on the bottom is a Colt Junior in 25 ACP. After that, a Colt 1908 vest pocket hammerless, also in 25 ACP. And the very last one here is my wife's North American Arms Wasp in 22 LR. Okay, so you obviously know, if you watch my channel, you know that I really, really love the 25 ACP. What may shock you is, if I had to make a choice in terms of what's the one firearm I have here that I could keep for the rest of my life, no matter what, no matter anything, the 25 ACP is actually not going to be one of the ones I keep. If I were to keep anything, this would be my number 2 choice. Okay, if I can only have one firearm, this little Colt 1908 would be my number 2 choice, without question, because it means so much to me. It's been passed down through my family. The 25 ACP is my favorite cartridge, as you know. I love the history behind this firearm. I just love everything about this. But unfortunately, I am realistic, and I know that the 25 ACP is one of, if not maybe the least effective caliber for self-defense. Okay, not counting a 22 short. Okay, so the 25 ACP is kind of out of the race for right now. So I'm going to set the 25s aside. Okay. After that, and yes, I am including 2 of my wife's firearms in this kind of conversation, just because, honestly, just because they were in the house this morning. Going on down from that, the North American Arms 22 Magnum would not be one that I would keep, simply because it's a single action only mini revolver, so it's rounds limited, and it's just, I don't know, to me this while it's an incredibly well built firearm, this is kind of more of like I wouldn't say a novelty piece, but it's just, it wouldn't be my choice. Okay, it wouldn't be my choice. And then obviously on down from that, the little North American Arms Wasp in 22 LR. This is a really cool looking little firearm. Got this for my wife, and she really, really likes it. But anyway, obviously this one would also not be in the running. Just too small. Okay, so maybe you're kind of surprised already. Those of you who watch the channel, you may have thought, I thought for sure he was going to pick, that little 25 or whatnot. So coming on down here, again, we have the 45, the 38, two 380s, and a 32. Let's go right here. The Ruger LCP. And by the way, these are all hot. They're all loaded. I'm keeping them pointed in safe direction, and I'm not unloading my firearms for the video. The Ruger LCP. A really excellent carry choice. Very well-made little firearm. If this were the one firearm I chose to keep for the rest of my life, if I can only have one, this would probably be a pretty good choice. I think it would probably stand up to the test of time. Even though it is a polymer weapon, it's well made. 380, not the best, not the worst. Okay, kind of right there in the middle. Not the worst choice ever. All right, but to me, this firearm doesn't really have any sentimental value. This was just one of those that I read enough about and heard enough good things about it, and one day I just bought it. So nice little firearm. I like this firearm. This is one I keep in my vehicle, but again, this would probably not be the one I would choose to keep. Let's see. After that, okay. How many of you thought this was going to be the one I would keep? No. The SIG P238. Wow, I didn't get all the oil after I cleaned it. Anyway, SIG P238. Sorry, I'm trying to get this in frame for you guys. Maybe, if not the most well-made firearm in the entire collection. The SIG P238. This is my wife's winter carry gun. This is an incredible firearm, guys. If you haven't ever held one of these, if you haven't ever fired one, check them out. The SIG P238 is a 380 auto, single stack. It's like a little shrunk down baby of the full-size 1911. This is just an incredibly, incredibly nice handgun. Well made. There's lots of different color options. You can get them with different colored slides and frames, and a lot of options from SIG. Just a really well-made firearm. But for whatever reason, I guess it's just because it's my wife's gun. It just, for me, other than the fact that it's my wife's, just don't have a whole lot of, sentimental care or whatever for this gun. I'm glad she likes it and she shoots it very well. And I know that she and I both feel that she's well protected when she carries this. But for me, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It wouldn't be my choice. All right, getting down to 3. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the running. You all probably knew that, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to wait. My full-size 1911. Okay, Springfield. This was my first firearm, handgun purchase ever. Okay. Springfield model 1911A1. This is the loaded model. Okay, this is kind of the pride and joy of my firearm collection. Lot of gun people wait their entire life to purchase a 1911. It's one of those firearms that you don't make impulsively. I don't know if I've ever talked to anybody who said, I just went in and just randomly decided to pick up a 1911 the other day. Like, that just doesn't really happen. People take time to think about this. I mean, it's a hefty price tag. This was just a little under $1,000. when I bought it. It was high eights, and then you figure in taxes and all that good stuff. $1,000, that's a lot of money, or at least to me it is. $1,000 can buy a lot of different things. So I love this firearm, and to be honest with you, if I hadn't purchased this as my first firearm, I don't know if I ever would have. Like, I don't think I would have bought 2 or 3 and then gone, okay, I think it's time for a 1911. I think for me, if this hadn't been my first firearm purchase, it wouldn't have ever happened, period. Okay? So I really, really like this firearm. But I'm definitely one of those guys who fell into the thing of the 1911 is big and bulky and heavy, and after a while, you just don't want to carry it anymore. Yep, that was true for me. Haven't sold it, never will, not getting rid of it. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about the weight and the ease of comfort between something like this and, say, something like this, okay, given we're talking about a 380 versus a 45 ACP, but give me a break. Either way, you have a firearm and you can defend yourself. And with this, you kind of forget you have it on you. With this, there's no freaking way you're going to forget you have it on you, okay? All right, so down to the last two. Yeah, I know. I know. I love my Kel-Tec. I love my Kel-Tec P32. It's the first generation. I love this firearm. But I am realistic, okay? I know it's a Kel-Tec, okay? Mine has functioned flawlessly without any problems. This firearm has never given me any reason to think, do I really want to trust that, trust my personal safety, my family safety, my wife's safety? Would I trust my life to this firearm? I've never had any reason to think, no. I just haven't. It has gone bang every time I've pulled the trigger, and the bullet has gone exactly where I wanted it to go. What else can you ask? I love this little Kel-Tec. It's so small, it's so light, slips in the pocket. I mean, it's just, I don't know, maybe you hear about people getting a lemon. Maybe I got the opposite. Maybe I just got like the crown jewel that, that came out of Kel-Tec that day. But I love this little Kel-Tec. But 32 ACP, still pretty small round. And the overall quality of this firearm is not very high. I would never get rid of it for anything, but I know that the quality of this firearm is not very high. Okay, so that kind of kicks it out of the running. So yeah, you see where I'm kind of left. Maybe this will surprise some of you, maybe it won't. But the Smith & Wesson Airweight 442, 38 special, rated for plus P. I have kind of come to terms with the fact that for me, this is the perfect combination of everything. It's lightweight. Again, it's an Airweight model, obviously, so it's lightweight. Okay, it's quality made. It's a Smith & Wesson, so you know the quality is there. It's discreet. Having the concealed hammer makes it an excellent EDC choice. No risk of snags or hang-ups. Yes, I do, and again, it's loaded, obviously. I'm not unloading it. You do have the same issue with this as what I mentioned with the little 22 Magnum, 5 rounds, so it's rounds limited. But this is a full frame pistol. Okay, this is not like the little North American Arms where if you don't really hold it just right and get it aimed just right, you odds of hitting what you're aiming at, unless it's right on top of you, are pretty slim. Not the case with this. Okay, fixed sights, so no worry of something getting bumped or knocked out of place. It's a revolver, so obviously no worry of safety. Okay, to me, this is just a good balance between I could carry this on me, or I could leave it in the nightstand, or stick it in the console of the car. Okay, this to me would be a great firearm for about anything you would need a firearm for. Now, I know some of you may think, oh, a little J-frame, that's not enough. And it may not be for some of you, but for me, this is kind of where I find that perfect balance. I'm not saying this is my favorite firearm in the collection. I am saying that I think this firearm probably best combines all of the qualities that I would want in a firearm should I only be able to choose one. Now, obviously, again, this is a completely fictitious scenario I've created just for my own amusement of, take a look at all the firearms you have. If you could only keep one, say tomorrow, God forbid the house burns down and you've lost everything, as terrible as that is, what would be that one firearm that if you went, oh, thank goodness, at least blank wasn't lost in the fire? What would be that one thing that it's like, oh man, at least I didn't lose blank, okay? So anyway, that's kind of where I ended up. Maybe this video will have surprised some of you. I love all of my firearms, okay? They all have their own special meaning, their own special purpose. I think almost all of us, the fun, the joy of having firearms is that each one kind of has its own story. Each one has its own purpose. Each one means something different to all of us. There's no set reason, or we can have what we want is the point. We can have what makes us happy, and what we enjoy. But I just thought this would be something kind of interesting, maybe for some of you. I don't know, some of you may have kind of thought the same thing to yourself at other times, may have thought, I wonder if I can only pick one out of everything I have, what would I pick? Okay, so that's kind of where I landed on this. Again, I know this is kind of silly, but I thought maybe it would be an interesting topic. I would really like to see some of you guys post what you think, what you feel. Or if you're interested, say what I have here, say it's your collection. Say this is what you have. Out of these, what would you have picked, and why? Okay, just kind of an interesting concept. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry it's been so long. Hopefully, I'm over the hump and I'll be able to start getting more videos put out to you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching.